And welcome back to the Financially Simple Experience. So here's a question that no doubt you've asked yourself. How do I know it is the best time to sell my business? Or maybe you've asked it this way: can I sell my business? Undoubtedly in life, as business owners, we have reached a point of frustration. I'm just going to quit, pack this thing up, and let them have it. Maybe you find yourself saying that at some point. Yeah, we business owners, we're a crafty lot. We're tenacious, as I often say. We're willing to charge hell with a water pistol. I love that statement. I've heard it years of my life, and I believe that truly embodies us business owners. But at the end of the day, we truly are thinking about, man, when is the best time to sell my business? It's been said about real estate investing that location. It matters the most when it comes to investing in real estate. If that is true, and I believe it is, then when we're dealing with business, especially business exit, timing makes the most sense. Selling your business is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. I'm personally walking a couple of dozen people through this process of internalizing. Do I sell? Do I go? Do I stop, change directions? Do I go forward? Selling a business determines if you, your family, your team, your families, it determines the futures for all these individuals. And it's merely beyond just the financial side of things. Yeah, any accountant, anybody with a pencil and a calculator can look at the financial side, but as a business owner, it's much more than that. It's emotional. This is your baby. And like it or not, it's your baby. You're the person that has spent countless hours awake at night trying to figure out how you're going to navigate a situation, a circumstance. You're the person. And then when you think about this baby being gone, now you're left trying to answer the question, who am I outside the business? What's next? Is it time? Am I going to be okay? Should I let a good thing go? Do I really have a golden goose? So today I want to kind of answer this question. I want to dive into detail on how do I know? How do I know? How do you as the business owner know it's the best time to sell your business? The first one is are you ready? We call it owner readiness. See, only 20 to 30% of the businesses that go to market actually sell. That is a statistic from the Exit Planning Institute. An owner who is ready to sell a business with an attractive business, in other words, the business is built for transition, has a greater chance of selling successfully than one that is not prepared for a proper exit. That's just common sense. So what determines if you, the owner, is ready? Well, the first thing is that you identify the goals you have in life after business. I'm going to talk a little bit about me today because I've recently wrestled through this. Selling my businesses in January of 2022. Man, what's life after look like? I'm in my early 40s. Am I done? I can remember all these questions, laying in bed at night with my wife, talking with her through these deep, soul-searching questions. What's life look like afterwards? You see, without a plan, without an exit plan, you could put yourself in a position to where you match the 75% of owners who regret selling their company within the first 12 months after the sale. Without an exit plan. You may find yourself in a state of depression. You may find yourself dealing with an identity crisis. See, life for you as the business owner will continue after the sale, but it's different. It's different. Business has been akin to children. Now, there's studies, and I've quoted them on this podcast before. I cannot imagine for the life of me, having one of my children no longer with me. Cannot imagine it. God forbid. I know some very dear friends who've experienced that loss. And I've watched them, I've walked with them through that loss, not even understanding. But this feeling of incompleteness, this feeling of lack of purpose, this draining removal of joy. It's been said that business owners face the same thing when their business is gone. On the other hand, business owners who have prepared and they've identified what's the next chapter of their life look like, they avoid much of that pain. So the first thing is what's next in life. The second thing to determine if you're ready is how are your personal finances looking? If you remember the statistic from the Exit Planning Institute that most business owners have 80% of their net worth tied up in their business, it could create a myriad of financial problems whenever this business is gone. Do you know how much money you need? Have you normalized your income? What does your life look like whenever the business is gone and in that checkbook, that cash cow, that machine that you've been creating is no longer there? Are your personal finances ready for that next chapter? Whether it's full retirement, whether it's another business venture, whatever it is, are your personal finances prepared? Another question you can ask yourself is, do you have a transition team? Now, I personally have just gone through this. My transition team had a rock solid CPA, multiple attorneys, a certified financial planner, and a CEPA, a certified exit planning advisor. I had multiple people on my team who were helping me navigate this particular transition. You see, more than likely, you're going to sell a business once in your life. Now, you may be an odd duck and have 2 or 3 sales in your lifetime. Me, I've had six sales in my lifetime. But most business owners are going to have one sale. And until you have your transition team prepared and built, you're not ready. And then, do you have a contingency plan? Of course, we all hope that we're going to get that cash offer. We all hope that the dotted line is going to be signed, transaction, and whatever the benefit is for the buyer and seller is going to move forward and it's going to be consummated. We all hope that. What if it isn't? What if your price is not met? What if there's clawbacks, retentions? What if a health situation arises? Do you have a contingency plan in place? So friends, the first thing you have to determine if you're ready to sell your business is, are you ready? Do you have your life set forward on what you're going to do next, the next chapter as I call it? Do you have your personal finances, your transition team, and a contingency plan in place? If you don't, then don't pass go. Don't, as the Monopoly game says, don't collect $200. Freeze where you're at and build those things. The next question we have to ask ourselves is, what is your triggering event? What is going to cause you to say, yes, I'm ready to move? For me, the question was, Justin, why are you doing this? And I said, I want to reach this level of wealth. And my coaches said, you passed that years ago. And I went, you've lost your mind. I know business. And they said, you don't. You're past that years ago. And then I said, well, if somebody were to offer me X, I would strongly consider it. And X plus happened. X plus happened. I found out that my X, my value that I wanted to sell my business for, had been surpassed years previous. I had not stayed in tune with my own industry. I've been talking about other clients' industries and missed mine. So for me, a triggering event was a dollar sign. For you, it may be a health issue. For you, it may be the ability to shift it from yourself to a key employee, to a child. It could be a dollar sign for you. It could be an aspiration. You want to develop something and then impact people greatly. I've heard a lot of different what ifs. I've heard a lot of different triggering events. In his book, Walking to Destiny, Chris Snyder outlines 5 triggering events that could lead a business owner to exit. Here are the 5 things. And the reality is, unless you plan for these, one of these are going to catch you. The first is death. I can't tell you how many business owners have fallen over dead, and now their significant other or spouse is left to deal with transitioning the business. Divorce. Either a mate or a business partner. Divorce. A disability. I've seen it, friends. I've seen it. Distress. Now, distress could be a number of different ways. It could be that COVID, it distressed your business and you're just done. It could be too much business. I've seen it where too much flow comes in and the business owner's like, I can't handle this. I don't want this level of business. Sell it. Let somebody else continue to move forward with the direction. Or disagreement. Disagreement amongst yourself, disagreement amongst your employees, disagreement amongst your customers, your family. 5 Ds. And they could impact your decision to sell. But even if the 5 Ds don't bring the risk about, or even if the 5 Ds don't trigger you, there will be something that triggers you. So let's go ahead and identify it. What is your event that if this event were to happen, you'd walk away? Have you ever thought about it? Is it a dollar sign? Is it one of the 5 Ds? So once we know our triggering event, then we want to define the win. Define the win. Whenever I say win, W-I-N, like victory. As a business owner, we've been running this marathon. We've been jousting. We've been colliding as almost like the gladiators did in the arenas. I was just reading Theodore Roosevelt's Man in the Arena statement the other day. Take a look at it. I love that statement. It's not the critics which matter, but it's the man who's marred, who's bloodied, who's in the battle doing something. That's you, the business owner. What is the win? If you can define a win for your business, then you can determine whether or not you're ready to sell. For me, the win was a certain dollar figure and making sure that the employees and the customers were left in a better position than where they were previous. That was my win. Simple as that. I wanted the opportunity to continue to do the podcast. I wanted the opportunity to continue to drive forward and help people, impact people. That's my own word, is impact. What's your goal? What do you want to spend the rest of your business days doing, and what do you want to spend the rest of your days after business doing? Are you looking perhaps for seed money for your next big business venture? If you can define the win, then you've automatically set the victory. So once you define the win, the fourth thing to determine whether or not you're ready to exit the business is you want to measure your progress. If we know where we're at today and we know where we need to be to win, then we can set up a process to which we can measure our success. Just yesterday, I was having a discussion with a client that I've been working with now 4 years or so. The measuring tool was $2.5 million in liquid assets outside the business value. That was the measuring tool. We set a path out 4 years ago, roughly saying it's going to take us about 60 months to reach this particular goal. We did pro formas, we did all the research, we did everything we needed to. And here the client is in about 48 months, 49 months into the process, and we're about 3 to 6 months away from reaching our goal. We have been measuring the progress, almost like a barometer does or a thermometer does. It can show you the progress, the movement of material gain. We've been tracking this progress now for some 48 months. And just yesterday, I had the privilege of saying, look, if we continue in this direction we're headed, barring some unforeseen circumstance, which could always happen, barring some unforeseen circumstances, we will reach our goal within the next 3 to 6 months. At such time, our options now are close the business, sell the business, transfer the business, gift the business. The elation that came through the video conference that we were having with this particular client was powerful. It's a feeling that I love watching as their coach. Remember the coach? We want our clients or our employees or whomever to succeed. For me to watch that elation, that joy, that the perseverance that they've had through some tough times, including COVID in this particular industry they're in, watching that come to their face and the realization that, hey, the finish line is just ahead of us is a powerful drug. Perhaps one of the most powerful drugs out there. So we set the destination. We sat back and we said, okay, is the business owner ready? We're working on it. We're building everything. We're stabilizing their personal finances, as we talked about earlier. We built the transition teams. We had a contingency plan. We haven't needed it, thank God. We know the triggering event. The triggering event is when they hit this certain dollar figure and we're right there at it. The minute that triggers, we are now defining our win in such a way that, look, it doesn't matter if we sell it, which we're going to try to. It doesn't matter if we transfer it, which we would do as a backup plan. It doesn't matter if we're going to gift it, which we could gift it, and we're thinking about that as well. So we're defining our win, but we've been measuring the progress the entire time. The entire time. So if we're going to answer the question, how do you know it's the best time to sell your business? The answer is simple. Walk through this process. Are you personally ready? Is your mind ready? Are your finances ready? Do you have your team ready? Are you personally ready to exit? You're like, Justin, dude, I've been ready. I'm born ready. All right, I hear you. And my dad would say, calm down, simmer your jets, cool your jets. Okay, cool. You're ready. Great. What is the trigger? What is the thing in your life that's going to say now's the time? Is it a dollar figure? Is it a certain aspiration? Perhaps it's one of the 5 Ds that you're waiting on: death, disability, divorce, distress, disagreement. What is your trigger? Have you defined it? In that trigger, number 3, have you defined your win? Friends, whenever I sold my business, I did not want to be a business owner that regretted the sale. Did not. I can honestly, to this day, many months after the transition, tell you I have no regrets. I placed the clients ahead of me. I placed the team ahead of me. I placed the vendors ahead of me. And my family and I met our defined win. If you've done those things, then now where are you at in your progress? Have you set up a process, a true exit plan that shows you how you're going to get from point 1 to point 2? An exit plan would include things like your exit strategies, a liquidation, selling to a key employee, selling to an open market. Have you talked to your investors, your stakeholders, your customers? Have you decentralized yourself? Have you driven value? Do you have a contingency plan in place? Does the fair market value align with your minimum price? Are you working with a broker? Do you have a tax plan already instigated to where you can move and drive your succession? This is an exit plan and much more. Do you have an exit plan in place? If not, then you're not ready. You're not ready to sell. Simple answer. So if you say, Justin, man, I'm trying to figure out the next 36 months, the next 5 years, I want to have this opportunity. Remember, real estate is location, location, location. Business exit planning is timing, timing, timing. We want to build the business and you whenever opportunity and your win, whatever you define it as, cross, whenever the two paths conjoin, when they cross each other, at that point, we want to be completely prepared. If you've never done exit planning, now's the time. If you're even thinking about this, now's the time. One of the statements that we often teach, I'm a facilitator, a teacher in the Exit Planning Institute, the EPI, Exit Planning Institute. I literally am one of the instructors who teach the curriculum to gain the certificate of the CEPA, Certified Exit Planning Advisors. One of the statements that we often say is exit planning is good business planning. Exit planning is good business planning. Let me say it again. Planning for your exit is just good business planning. Why? Because of all the things I've written about in my book, Your Baby's Ugly, all the things that I've written about in my book, The Ultimate Sale, the 400 plus episodes that we've spoken through, decentralization, profitability, value growth, all these various things are all combined and wrapped into exit planning. If you've never done an exit plan, a succession plan is the old term, if you've never done that with a certified exit planning advisor, now's the time. Now's the time. Reach out. We have a group of CEPAs, Certified Exit Planning Advisors, that we're business owners that we can pair you with and let you develop your own exit plan so that you can define your win, so that you can be ready, so that you can outline your life. Friends, I've done this myself. With my credentials as certified financial planner, certified value growth advisor, and a certified exit planning advisor, I built my own team. And they walked me through this years before the exit ever came. And it was because of exit planning that I was able to accomplish an unbelievable dream of mine, which was to reach a certain number, which was to position employees and clients to where they can win. Friends, if you need help, reach out to us. Life is hard. Growing a business, it is tough. That's an understatement, isn't it? It's doggone hard. Growing a business is tough. And it can be frustrating. It doesn't have to be. Let's continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Hey, y'all go out and make it a great day.